let's make a quick video on how to put switch circuits or just switch lines uh, on a lighting layout. What I mean by that is these little arcs. These little arcs tells us that this switch turns that light on, and then that light on, that light on, and then that light on. There's nothing magic about it. We just have to make it look neat. That's all. So from somewhere in the neighborhood of that switch, because there's really no place on the switch, it depends. We're going to draw an arc to the center of that light fixture. And if the arc is too small, we're not going to see the line type. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. I'm going to keep stretching it out until I see the line type. Sometimes the arc will be so big that it looks ugly, and I'd rather not see the line type. But in this case, I'm satisfied with that. So I start making arcs. I'm going to make an arc from here to here. And instead of continuing to doing arcs all across, I know that these are evenly spaced. I'm just going to copy this arc from light to light, and it's going to line right in the center. I could stop here and then just copy the row above and copy it down, so I have to do it 4 times. So I could just grab these 4 and copy them down to there because they'll be identical. So but here's what's happening now. This switch is turning all these lights, but it's not turning these lights, so that means we're just missing an arc right there. Like that. So now what I'm saying here is this switch turns all these lights on. Ideally, I don't like too much. This is a double door. I don't like too much switches behind the door because you got to open the door, then close it, and come in here and turn the switch on. But that's where they wanted it. And that's how we do it. This is a room with only 1 entrance. Now, a room with 2 entrances is going to have 2 switches, one at this door, one at this door. So this is a switch 3-way, which means it can be turned on in 2 locations. Makes no sense that it's called 3 ways, but it only works in 2 locations. And then also that D indicates that it's a dimmer switch as well. So it's a 3-way dimmer switch at this door, and a 3-way dimmer switch at this door. How do we do this? Well, again, we'll do an arc from this light, from this switch to the first light, the light that is nearest, and the arc doesn't show the line type, so I'm gonna just make the arc a little bigger until I see the line type, and I'm okay with that. Then I can't copy these because even these are evenly spaced within this room, so that arc wouldn't fit here. So I have to do at least 1 arc here, and then I can copy across. So I can copy the arc from this light to that light to that light. And what I was saying earlier, instead of copying it 3 times, I just can copy these 3 arcs from this light to this light. And you couldn't use whatever reference point to copy it. I'm copying it from the letter to the letter because I know the letters are in the same place because I copy these light fixtures all around. I can do it from center to center, or I can do it from the top of this little line to the top of this little line. As long as you stay consistent, then you land in the right place. Then, like the other one, we're turning all these lights on, but what's happening to these? Well, I'm going to say that switch also turns all these lights across. And then here, this is in reality not how it happens. The wire will go from this switch to the first light where there's some interaction with this switch, and they'll communicate with each other, knowing that you're turning. But all I do here is do a switch leg to the nearest light, and I kind of like to stay to a corner one. I could do it to this one, but to me it looks a little neater that way. And that's how you do the lighting switching circuits on that. Let me do another one here. This one, I think the light fixture is so close to the switch that there's no way I can make an arc big enough, and that's not gonna look right. Well, let me do the rest of them just to show. And the reason I copy this is because in my mind's eye, I like the arcs to stay consistent. I like consistency. So I'm going to do it to there and to there. They could wire it differently. They could wire from this light to that light and then to that light, but I'm just showing. We're just indicating here that we want this switch to turn all these lights on. I don't like going across like this. It just makes for a busier, harder to read drawing. So that's why I do it. I do all the rows or all the columns together and then connect them. So in this case here, I did all the rows together. I did that row together and then that row together and connected them. I'm going to show an example here, which while I was thinking about it, suppose instead of 2 rows, there's 3 rows, evenly spaced. So I'll copy from here to here, and that the switch was here. So I'm turning all these lights on. So you could do it this way. You could just copy this one to here, and we're saying the same thing. Or we could do it at the beginning of the circuit and do it here. And let me get rid of this one because it's kind of annoying. So we can do it this way, or we can do it this way, sort of a chain. So I'm going to turn that light on, and it's possible, likely, that it would be wired that way. From this light to that light, and then to that light, and then come back, and then go down the hill. And then if there were another row, then it would look that way. It looks neater to me that way. But it's not the end of the world if we wire them up this way. Because you're still going to have to jump from light to light, either the end or the beginning. You're still doing that. So that's how we do that. So back to this. This is ugly to me, so I'm actually going to shrink that arc a little bit so it's not intercepting the letter. And I'm going to leave it right there. I could come back the other way, which actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back and flip the curvature of the arc to come this way. So it's kind of away from that letter. And that's it. I'm going to leave it that way. I'd rather it not have the line type that for it to be this big and that ugly. I want to make sure also they have enough curvature and that they don't look a lot like straight lines. That's going to show up like a straight line. And I don't want that. There, that's how we do that. 3-way with 2 entrances, or just with 1 entrance. That concludes this video.